Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome to another edition of This is Towns World Live, where we just sit around and shoot the stuff and hang out. Now, I know, as I say in the beginning of every live feed, that there are those on YouTube that are probably seeing an ad right now. Maybe they were able to skip it. Maybe they had to watch it. I don't know. YouTube picks that stuff. I don't. Anyway, hope you are all doing well tonight. Hope everybody is having a good Monday, as good of a Monday as you can have. I mean, Mondays aren't the best of days. For a lot of people, it's back to work. For me, it's not. Tomorrow is my Monday. I will be back to work, but my job is not that of a grueling 9-to-5 kind of type job. As we all know, I work at the Chamonix State Park, and I do love that place very, very much. But hopefully you were all having a good Monday as well. Yeah, we'll just hang out and shoot the stuff. I think that's going to be my new thing. What's up, Kate? How you doing? I did pop in for a little while on the Minecraft live feed that you guys were doing last night, and I said hi. As you know, you were there. What is up, Ray? How you doing, man? Happy belated birthday, even though I said happy birthday to you on your birthday. Hope you're having a good day, man. And well, today was day off number 2, and I actually didn't have to do anything as far as appointments with Dad and stuff. I could have made a video because the last 2 days have been absolutely beautiful here. Didn't even need a hoodie at all. Yesterday, I didn't really venture out of the house too much. I was recovering from Saturday night a little bit, but today I could have done a video. I just had one big problem, nowhere to go. So let's catch up here. What's up, Jill? I would love to. I just don't have the program yet. And, I got to watch my funds, I mean, if people wanted to start buying a bunch of stuff in my merch shop, which the link is down in the bottom of the description, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching it on Facebook, it's not there. But if you wanted that, I could put the link in the description. So if everybody wants to go buy a crap ton of stuff there, that would be cool and that would help me out. But if you're on YouTube, you could also hit the little button over here that has the little $sign on it, and you can donate whatever you'd like to. All money helps for the YouTube channel and for the benefit of me and Dad. Oh, skipping thing. Hey, I had nowhere to go, and I didn't want to do a repeat video. I've done a lot of that. I've done a lot where I go back to places, and it's cool to see it after a while. And I know that I've had a request to go back to the boat that was beached and then burned down, halfway burnt down, because it's been a little while since I went there, and I will be going back there at some point. But I want to get at least one more new place before I start going back to old places. What's up, Cheryl? How you doing? Wow. Well, it didn't get that high today. It was in the 60s here, but it was beautiful. What's up, Scott? How you doing, brother? Oh, no. Hey, listen, I can understand. My son and his mother both have Crohn's disease. It's a rare, excuse me, it's a rare case with the two of them because usually Crohn's disease doesn't get passed down to the child. It's usually like skips a generation or it's somewhere in the family or whatever. But they unfortunately had the rare case where my son got it from his mother. So, I mean, it really sucks for both of them. And my son is currently going through issues with it. I mean, he gets, he gets things that going on in his body right now. He actually has a drain in for a not a cyst. I forget what it is off the top of my head, but like, yeah, it's not good. Had a thought for Tom's World. Maybe find local grave locations associated with local streets, areas. Well, I mean, I could get a crap ton of them right there over at the Byberry Friends Meeting House, because there's a family named Knight there. There's like all the streets surrounding Townsend, like all that stuff. Like there's people in there. So that could be a cool idea. I could do that. I could do that. And you know what? It might be coming sooner than I anticipated. Because it's just, I don't know, the thought of having all this when the heat comes on and everything. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Well, I'm glad that I'm cheering you up, Kate. That makes me happy to hear. It always makes me happy to hear that I'm cheering somebody up, that I make somebody entertained in some way, even if I'm just sitting here talking. It's a very rare thing to happen, to pass down from parent to child, though. It really is. So chances are it won't happen. Oh, no. That sounds like something that would happen at Ben Rush. Only it was more personal. I'm sorry to hear that. Not a fissure, an abscess. That's what it is. This is his second abscess in the last year, where he had to have a drain put in. But I mean, it wasn't that bad this time. Last time it was worse because he let it go because he just figured it was a flare up. But then it turned out to be an abscess near his appendix. They thought they were going to have to take his appendix out, but it wasn't that bad. So now he's just got a different one. I did not. I still have not done that. And I haven't, if I'd have been driving past it at some point, I would have thought of it. But I just haven't been that way. But I really got to concentrate on getting over there, at least to check it out, see what is still there, if it's even worth making a video, or if it's private property now. I don't know. Cool. Well, hey, I'm glad you're here, and I'm sorry for what you're going through with the car and everything, and hopefully that all gets taken care of and you are mobile again. Second time. Wow. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about my son. Yeah, this happened once back. What month it was? It was before the summer, like before it got really hot, and then there was this time. But I was just hanging out with him today, and he's still in good spirits and everything. I mean, you'd expect no less from this is Tom's son, but yeah, he's doing all right. Yeah, it's he goes through some pain. His mom has it worse than he does. But she's older, obviously. Otherwise, she wouldn't be his mom. She'd be his sister. But it's yeah. Wow. Yeah, you need to get some dentures, man. If you don't have, I would assume you have them if you got them all removed. Not just for the appearance, but for functionality, eating and stuff. Sunbury Farm mansion is not there, but property is. Sunbury Farm. Oh, you got my curiosity up. Let's see. It's on Bury or Berry. Let's see. I see an article here. Sunbury Farm property purchased by builder. This is from 2016. Bristol Township Council has approved a winning bid for the historic Sunbury Farm. The nearly 10-acre property at 2800 Newportville Road near Ford Road in Bristol Township has been sold late last month to Marmar Builders of Bristol for $510,000. I'm going to have to keep that tab open here so that I remember to go research that a little bit more. Well, I'm glad the sinus issues are gone, man. I have not been to Burlington Island. It's been on my radar for quite some time. I think even before, it might have been before Rustic Ventures went there. And they did at least a couple videos, if not a few. And I would definitely like to get there. The problem is that I think you need to gain permission, and I've not been able to find where to gain that permission. There was a Friends of Burlington Island Facebook, but I don't know that it's active anymore. I've messaged them, but I never heard back from them, and I don't want to trespass, but definitely would love to get there. There's a lot to see. Jing, what's going on? Newportville Road. Yep. Some flowers, some trees. I'm learning more as I go along. I'm able to spot some of the more invasive, like crap type trees, basically. But I'm getting there as time goes on. That would be cool. I'll definitely have to look into that. And it's not that far. I mean, it's like a 10-minute drive for me. So, hey, Sherry, how are you? I did reply to your message, by the way. Don't know if you saw that. That's great, man. That is absolutely wonderful news. It was part of the Civil War. Man, then why did they take it down? What's wrong with them? Got to keep our history. Well, for starters, I like any tree that flowers. I mean, they all kind of do in the beginning of the season, but there's a type of tree that grows in the garden, and the branches hang down almost like a weeping willow, but I don't think it's a weeping willow, and I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to get that app again that identifies trees and plants when it starts blooming and take a picture and see what it says. But it's got some beautiful pink flowers. I mean, if you go back and watch any of my videos from like when things are blooming or whatever that I say in the garden, you'll see it. It's like in the middle and it's got like pinkish flowers that hang down. It's really, really pretty. No, not far at all. Cool. Yeah, I know we need to hold on to our history. I mean, I understand we have to evolve, we have to make new things, but it doesn't mean we need to get rid of old things. If they have a history, if they were an integral part of history, then they need to stay. We need to preserve them. Oh, okay. I'll have to look. Cool. Favorite flower? Well, that one is easy. It was the only flower that, even as a volunteer at the garden, that I absolutely had to have. Once I found out that it was on the native flower list, because we were only allowed to plant. I swear I can talk. For as much as I mess up talking, it's weird. But as the plants that we were able to put in they had to be native and non-invasive. And I saw that my favorite flower was on the list, so I absolutely had to do it. I bought 3 of them, and they still come back every year. They're the columbine flowers. The ones we have in there are burgundy and white. And why they're my favorite flowers? Because they're so cool looking. I mean, they first off, they have like these 4 or 5, maybe even 6 like things that stick out the back of the flower. So you got the flower up here, and you got these things sticking out, and they come to like little points and stuff. And then the flower itself, like say these ones, they're burgundy and white. So the outside flower is burgundy. There's a flower that grows from inside that flower that's smaller, that's white. And then it's got like the little yellow, what are they, stamens, I think they're called, that come out. And they just look super cool. And it doesn't matter what color they are. And they come in a variety of colors. You could look them up. Columbine, spelled just like the unfortunate school mishap that happened. Well, see, that's a reason why that should have been put on the registry. Absolutely. Because there's too many places that he's been that have come down. One of which was the what was it, the Red Lion Inn over on Frankfurt Ave / Bristol Pike, like right where Frankfurt Ave turns into Bristol Pike. That used to be there, and some guy owned it, and apparently the story is that he had a bunch of monetary issues, and it accidentally burned down. And it took out a big piece of history. And George Washington was there, and Abraham Lincoln was there, and there was a lot of famous names that were there. And now it's no longer with us. It's an open field, like a little dog park. It's sad. Oh, we're allowed to have phlox in there too. Yeah. Cool. Now, the zinnia and marigolds, they're, if I remember right, from way back in the day when I worked at Burpee, they're annuals, right? I'm pretty sure marigolds are annuals. Zinnias might be too. But the columbines and the phlox, they're definitely perennials because they've been coming back every year since we first planted them back in 2021. And I mean, there's been some things that have not made it in that little raised bed garden, which was actually a cold box, but we made it into a raised bed garden. And they're the black-eyed Susans. One by one, they all got some kind of disease that black-eyed Susans are prone to, and they pretty much don't come back. And even last year, when they came back, there was very little of them. So it's kind of sad. Well, hello, Total Tech. How are you? Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure he didn't sleep in half the places he was supposed to have slept. But I do know places that he was. He was definitely at the Red Lion Inn. He may not have slept there, but he was definitely there. I know he was definitely at the Dunks Ferry Inn, which is right by where the Dunks Ferry docks were that I did a few videos ago. He's been in a lot of places around the area. What's the oh no for? Oh, cool. What color phlox do you have? So I know we have at least, I think it's 3 different colors of phlox. We got a white one for sure. I know we got a pink one, and I think we have like a bluish one. Look at me. I was right with my knowledge. I haven't worked at the Burpee Seed Company since 2013. So it's been 11 years, and somehow I still managed to hold on to that. No. My name, my name originally was going to be Matthew Thomas when my parents found out that they were having a boy finally, because they had 2 girls and then a boy. And something, I don't know what it was, like just a thought that occurred to my mom at the last minute after I was born. She decided to make it Thomas Matthew, which sounds better to me anyway. And I don't look like a Matt. I definitely don't look like a Matt. So The name Matthew was from my father's father, and my dad's name is Tom. So, and they didn't want me to be a junior. Oh, yes, Washington. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He's been all over the area. Cool. Hey, we're always willing to take any. Well, I say we like I'm one of the volunteers still. I still got to get that in my head. It's been 3 years since I was a volunteer, and somehow I still think of myself as one. But yeah, always willing to accept those. You just let me know, when. I mean, you could even just drop them off if if it's just during the day or something. If you put them into a pot and drop them off at the garden, then shoot me a message and let me know, hey, I dropped those off, and I'll let the volunteers know, and we'll keep them alive in the pot until they get there to figure out where they want them to be planted. Because one of the members of the volunteer team knows gardening very well, knows where to put things to make them flourish more and stuff like that, based on the sun and all. So I would leave it up to that individual. Hey, Lori, how you doing? Welcome to the live feed. They are very Christian names, St. Thomas, St. Matthew is. Oh yeah. There's the birthday girl. Happy birthday. Awesome. Yes, they're always up for donations. Absolutely. Especially of the floral kind. And I know they'll do their best to make it flourish as well as they can. You're very welcome. So how does it feel to be 25? I mean, oh yeah, the butterflies do love them. There's a lot of they love the phlox too, and the columbines, and the cone flowers. They love the cone flowers. Not all the cone flowers have flourished the way they should have, but I kind of figure that if we would have done what I originally wanted to do when I was a volunteer there, it might have made it a little better. I wanted to dig out every ounce of dirt out of that raised bed, because it's concrete, and it's concrete on the bottom as well. So I wanted to get rid of all that and then use some of the donation money to just get a bunch of fresh soil. I mean, it didn't have to be like bagged soil. It could be somewhere where like they're selling it like from a farm or something like that. And I could have just got a truck, and we could have brought it back and put it in there. And that's what I wanted to do initially. But the other volunteers said no, that they feel that the soil is actually really good and that we could plant in there. But I think that that might have been I don't know. I mean, a lot of things have flourished in there, but there have been some things that had some issues, and maybe they would have still had the issues if we put in the new soil. But look at that. You got people you don't even know saying happy birthday to you. Well, come on now. I'm always funny. I try. Cool. More cone flowers would be awesome. No, you never know though. He got around, this man. For somebody who was around when they didn't have motorized vehicles, he got around. This is true. And we tried to give them as much as we could, like from the surroundings, you know what I mean? Like we tried having like putting in mixing in leaves and stuff like that. I mean, they did all kinds of things. And we're always ready to give mulch to them. Right now, there are 3 mountains of mulch next to the garden where the mansion used to be, because as I mentioned before, a tree that used to be inside the garden, a rather large tree, is now gone. It had to be taken down before it came down because it was slowly dying, and we had to get rid of it. So between that and some of the things that were just laying around, The guys that we hired to come out and take the tree down, they mulched it up and put it in there. So there's a ton of really good mulch. I think that may have even been an oak tree. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think it might have been. But a random question. Well, I do love Breyer's vanilla, for as boring as that is. But there's a Reese's ice cream that's really, really good. You'd be hard pressed to find an ice cream that I wouldn't eat, really. I've never heard of a pencil daisy. Sounds interesting. As long as it's native to the area, then it should be good. Sounds interesting. Because when you think of tea, you don't think of something dairy, but when you think of ice cream, you definitely think dairy. I would try it. I would most definitely try it. Look at me, I'm sitting here yakking and I'm not even having a sip off of my beer. Oh, was it a typo? See, I have a pencil daisy. Autocorrect. Matcha ice cream? I've never heard of that one. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Always love compliments on the videos and stuff because I mean I make them as much for everybody else as I do myself. I mean, I love being there. I love taking the video. I love exploring. As I mentioned, editing isn't that great. But a buddy of mine, Dustin Heisey, who has a newly released live show that he does on BB3 TV on the YouTube. He called it Hizzy's Place. Very, very motivational guy. He's gone through some stuff in his life, and he has now picked himself up, and he's doing better health wise and mental health wise and everything. And he's trying to help spread that positivity. So you can check him out as well. It always messes with me. Thankfully for you, though, I speak fluent typo. So cone or cup? Bowl. Because you got a cup, you got a cone, you got a bowl of ice cream. What's up, Nick? How you doing? Nikki? I don't know. I'll call you Nikki. How about that? It's not like I don't know you. We'll be seeing each other tomorrow night on the Fear Fans live show, which this week coming up, and I've mentioned this show before. I do it with a group of people. Nikki's one of them. Kate's another one. Jill, her comment was too far up for me to get to. All three of them are on this, as well as some other people, and we talk usually about horror films and stuff like that. We'll pick one film for the entire show, and we'll do reviews of it, what we thought of it. We'll talk about different scenes and stuff like that. This week, we're doing a movie that's not so much horror. I mean, it's in the genre loosely, but I'm definitely glad we're doing it. So tomorrow night on Things Network, we will be doing Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters. So that's going to be fun. I don't eat ice cream as much as I used to, but I do love it. That's what I said. I hope you're all doing well. I said that in the very beginning, but you weren't here to hear that. So it's sprinkles and nuts and ice cream, either. But yes, I can't do nuts. though, because I've found out, I forget how many years ago it was, that I had diverticulosis, which is the prefactor or whatever to diverticulitis, which means there's a lot of things that I can't eat anymore. Nuts being one of them, popcorn, unfortunately, being one of them. I miss my popcorn so much. I would get like one of those bags, like bags of the Smart Food popcorn. One sitting, I'd eat the whole damn bag. And now I just saw in the last like month or so, they have a new flavor because that was the white cheddar one and I loved it. Now they have Doritos flavored Smart Food. Oh my god! Oh my god! There's Jill. Yes, it's Things Network on Facebook. Matter of fact, I'll go back and grab the. Well, it's just facebook.com/Things Network, but I will post that in here real quick. Make sure you go check them out. There's a lot of good shows, especially if you like paranormal. There's a lot of paranormal stuff on there. Um, People from all over the country, really. But the Fear Fans, that will be on there tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern time. So it's a little bit late, but the later it is, the more beers you can assure that I had. So it could be fun, and it gets a little crazy. I start breaking out with the impressions, and and I don't hold back completely like I do here with my profanities, stuff like that. So, but here I definitely hold back. Oh yeah, it's a great show. We all have a great time. I mean, like I said, normally it's straight up horror films, um, but I have made suggestions over time, and one suggestion I think is closer to happening now since they're going to be doing Ghostbusters, which kind of goes off the genre a little bit. I said we should do Young Frankenstein because that's a great movie. It's a great movie. Yeah, I'm probably going to rewatch it either tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow after I get home from work. I mean, I don't really have to. I pretty much remember the entire movie, but why not? It's an excuse to watch it. So that's a good question. That's a good point. What was his husband's name? I could look that up and see. I mean, chances are, I mean, maybe the spouse has held on to some things, but I'm sure a lot of it, the bulk of it, probably went back to the family. But that's a good, absolutely, absolutely. Um, it can be viewed from the street and also from the beach of the Delaware, but you cannot go onto the property. And I will tell you that on Dunks Ferry, it has like a 6 foot high fence going around the whole property, so it's very tough to see. Um, it's not like it was, I mean, it's been updated. The bare bones are still there, and there was an addition added on to the house after it was the Dunks Ferry Inn. Um, but but yeah, I've been in there, and it's a trip, man. It really is. I just wish I could make a video there, but because it's a private residence, I cannot do that. And also, in relation to into Duncan Williams, I found out somebody had mentioned about a cemetery, the Williamson Johnson Cemetery, which is a private cemetery, very small in Ben Salem. There's a marker there for him, for Duncan Williams. Um, he's not buried there though. He's buried in a cemetery down by Center City. But I would definitely like to get down there and check that out as well. Mm. Yeah, see, I miss nuts. I miss seeds. I miss popcorn. I don't really miss corn. Eh. Oh yeah, Beavis and Butthead. Exactly. Who you gonna call? Tom's World. No, that was stupid. Oh, that's weird. I know it can't be for me because the connection I have is hardwired in, so it's not a Wi-Fi thing. Would you be talking about Groudon Mansion by chance? Because that is a place that I want to go to, and I do know the people that help take care of it. The Historical Society of Ben Salem, or however that's worded. A lot of people think that where he did that famous experiment with the kite. It's yes. See, you thought you were going to stump me on that one, didn't you? A lot of people think he did that famous experiment with the kite and the key and all that in Philadelphia. However, it's speculated that he did it at this very mansion because he spent a lot of time there. His son, or yeah, I think it was his son, was friends with the Groudon's daughter or the Groudon's son or something like that. So he spent a lot of time there, and so did Ben Franklin. And everything that they talk about, it being on a hill, it being near water, like everything they explain about it, perfectly explains Groudon Mansion. So yes, you're right. Oh no, that wouldn't come out good. Not on my end. Yes, that that right there, that is where Duncan Williams is. Yeah, well, you see, I was ahead of you on those. I'm glad to be there too. I really am. At first, I thought I was just going to be like a random guest that was on there like once or twice, but here I am. Morrilton Inn, Torsdale. Hmm. Have to look that one up now. Let's see. Hmm. Let's look that. Let's see. Well, where's the Morrilton Inn? I see Glen Ford, Andalusia. What the heck? I clicked on a link and it's not even showing me. Well, I'll leave that tab open with the search on it so that I know to look into that as well. It's my first time hearing of that. Oh, from Groudon. My son doesn't live far from there either. Neither does my goddess. So, all members of Ben Salem. Oh, you're talking about the connection. Okay. I had to look back. Hey, Carol, how are you? Nomi's here. Howdy ho. Yeah, I'm like the old like lazy boy recliner that's in the corner. I think other than Joe, I'm the oldest one on there. I may not look the oldest. I don't know who does other than Joe. Maybe Nick. Nick looks old. No, he doesn't. I guess maybe I do look second oldest on there. But yeah, we've done some past shows. There's been some times where by the end of the show I have little bouts of memory loss from the amount, because like I said, they start at 9:30 our time, and usually for a while the way it was going, I was doing these live feeds on Tuesdays, and I would be here and I'd have my few beers after I've already had my couple beers before I started, and then I would be there and I'd have a few more and then go down and grab another one or two, and yeah, it happens. It Well, thank you. I try. Thank you. I could stand to lose some weight in the face though. I look at myself on here and I see that all the time, especially now more so that I'm not wearing a hoodie. Like it kind of hides it a little. Oh no. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hopefully nothing really, really bad happens, something you'll be able to bounce back from. Bristol Pike is a bad place to ride your bike. There is so much stupidity that goes on. I mean, it goes on everywhere, but I see it on Bristol Pike a lot. Um, all around the area. Matter of fact, a few lives ago, I was complaining about the way that people drove just in the parking lot over. Well, it's not called the Woodhaven Mall; it's called the Home Depot Plaza, but it's always going to be the Woodhaven Mall to me. Like over by that Acme and stuff like that, the way people drive around there is just ridiculous. And on Bristol Pike itself is ridiculous. State Road is bad too. No, I don't remember that one. Oh, no, you're not, Jill. Come on now. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. Wow. That's, you know what? 5 staples in your head. That sounds very familiar. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know I have it here somewhere. I'm looking through pictures. Yeah. Wait a minute. Check this out. If anybody doesn't have like a strong constitution, I mean it's not that bad, but if anything like makes you gag or whatever, you might want to look away for a second. So I had 5 staples in my head. Imagine that. That was just back in September, I want to say. I think it was. I think it was September. But yeah, I know how it feels. And I'm going to tell you what, like, as it's healing, it's going to itch. Like, before you get them taken out, you just got to kind of drill it into your head in the middle of the night when you're sleeping. Don't itch because it hurts when you itch it. Oh, man. Well, I'm glad that I could make you feel better and everything, but I really do hope that you heal fast and that everything goes well. Pennsbury Manor. I've been told about that by one of the volunteers as well. Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I like to do. You know, I mean, I don't want to give, I don't want to give away all the history. I want to give away enough, you know, that I show that I know what I'm talking about. But I love to encourage people to look things up on their own too, because it can be like a rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Like the deeper you go, the deeper you want to go, kind of things. And that's the way it was for me when I first started learning about Sorobia, and I couldn't learn enough. Well, I'm fully healed now. That's long gone. But yeah, it can be a pain, metaphorically speaking, as well as physically speaking. Um, Surprisingly, getting the staples in didn't hurt, and getting them taken out, I barely felt anything at all. So at least you don't have to look forward to there being any pain in getting them taken out. They have this little tool that kind of cinches it like the other way around. I can't turn my hand so that like the staples then just kind of lift out, and then they can just pull it, and then it's fine. Yep. Did I have a boom box? No. Well, actually, yes, but I didn't carry it around with me like that because like I didn't have enough money for all the D batteries it took to do that. So my boom box pretty much stayed at home plugged in. But it was a cheap one. But yeah, I did have one. But I will say this: it pretty much only played metal and hard rock. So I did have mixtapes. Yes, yes, most certainly. That I recorded off of the radio and stuff like that. Yes. Really, definitely worth looking into. If we didn't, then we knew somebody who did. Really? Well, I mean, I guess it's better that you said Marty McFly and uh and not his dad. Transistor radio, yeah, I had one of them. I also had a Walkman. I did have a Discman when they came out too. Muse sounds familiar. Let me look them up and see songs. Hmm. None of the songs look familiar by title, but that doesn't mean that I don't know them. Doc, what is it, Marty? Ah, see, you didn't know I could do that one, did you? That's right. Doc Brown lives in here too. But that's only because it's Christopher Lloyd. And Christopher Lloyd is in turn Jim Ignatowski from Taxi. So it's just a little bit more strained, whereas Jim Ignatowski was more like burnout, but it's the same voice. You know, like people would just say something to Jim and he'd be like, okay, dokie. Like, so it's along the same line. So thank you. What is it, Marty? Pink Floyd's good. Fleetwood Mac is good. Rolling Stones. Classic rock is great. Love classic rock. I love the hair bands from the mid 80s on to the mid 90s when they disappeared. I wear none. I haven't worn any in a long time. The last thing I even wore, which wasn't really for the smell factor, was Aqua Velva, just for bracing the skin. But I don't even really need to do that anymore. Thank you. Keith Richards will be around when we're all dead. There'll be cockroaches and Keith Richards. Oh, man. Well, have a good night. Thanks for dropping by. Was tied to the Drexels, the Morells, and McAllister families from the early 1900s. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to look up exactly where that is, because when I looked up the initial thing I saw, they were showing me, what was it? They were showing me Glen Ford and stuff, which, I mean, yeah, I guess that's in Torresdale essentially, but. Huh? What? Yeah, there's some places in Humeville I definitely want to get to. I mentioned it in the videos that I did there, the couple that I did. The coffee house that's there, that has some pretty decent history, entertainment history in there, because supposedly Harry Houdini performed there. Abbott and Costello were there. I would love to go in and just kind of explore in there if they would let me. In the back areas that they don't use would be awesome. But yeah, there's some places in Humeville I'd like to get to as well. Plus, I gotta touch base with the people who are trying to save Humeville Hill and see where they're at. Might be time for a new video for them to try to help their cause, because I understand all the reasons why they're trying to save that. So I did a video on that some time ago, and you guys can go back and check it out if you hasn't. If you haven't, I swear I can talk. I can speak English. I really can. And they explain all the different reasons why. We go through showing pictures of the floods and everything that happened there, and they're trying to save that hill from being made into a new community, which would just overcrowd the place. I mean, there's multiple reasons. That's right. We are. Can we? That would be funny. Just a bunch of French words like Tom's World. This is Tom's World. That would be funny. I don't speak French, so I can't say a bunch of French words. Like, I could say oui. I could say parlez-vous français. That's about it. So I know how to ask somebody if they speak French in French, but I don't know how to speak it. Irony there, right? Wow. Hair's a little frizzed out tonight, man. A little bit. Look, it's sticking out the sides of the hat when I take it off. Sticking out the back of the ears. But yeah, I do think that the cutting will definitely be happening at some point. We'll see. We'll see when it happens. It's not a matter of if it will happen; it's a matter of when it will happen. But I will grow it back a little. Um, the whole reasoning behind of the growing of the hair, because I haven't done it since I was in my 20s. Early 20s is when I got it cut, and I was asked by my goddess to grow my hair out a little bit. So I did, and then I didn't get it cut for a long time. It's been since 2 Julys ago when I got a haircut, and it it's grown quite extensively, but I think for the warmer months, I'd rather have it a bit shorter. Also, I mean, another factor is the longer the hair gets, the harder it is to keep a hat on when the wind kicks up because it just slips right off. And I don't want to be chasing this hat around the park. You get all kinds of foreign words. My dad he doesn't care. He doesn't give a crap one way or another. What's up, Michael? How you doing? Das ist Tom's Welt. That sounds German. Hell no. No mullet. If it's going to be long, it's going to be long. I am not doing that business in front, party in the back crap. Ain't happening. And let me tell you something. You look marvelous. Was it good? Was it a good accent? Das ist Tom's Welt. Curtains. I have curtains. I have curtains. I have them. Might be a hot minute and you're cooking. Ha! I get what you did there. I don't know, man. I don't think I could do it. I can't. No, I don't think I can do it. I mean, when I had my hair longer when I was younger, I used to get the top and the sides cut a little shorter than the back, just so that it was easier for brushing, but it never really looked good. It was always poofy and everything, and I didn't wear hats back then. So, yeah, I don't think I could do it. I think it's either the way it is or it's just going to go back to what it used to be. Maybe not as short as I used to get it cut. It's going to be a little bit longer. Dreads. Oh God, no. Nah. Couldn't pull them off either. My hair's too soft. Too soft to pull that off. That would be for Nick. Now I just look like Bob, like Silent Bob. Oh, it's been a week at work because all the seasonal workers have come back, and we have one guy on our crew, Jack. He's 82 years old. God bless him. The man works like a horse, and we were doing some sawing of branches and stuff and chipping and everything, and I had some in my hair. And when we got back, I took the air compressor with the little blower on the end. I was just blowing my hair out every which way. He turned around and he just saw this massive thing. Man almost had a heart attack. He's like, Jesus, what the hell? It was funny. You know, I don't know. Wait, the last video? Because the last video I did was over at the woods by Penryn. But the one before that was where I was going around in the Chamonix and I showed the different places that are pieces that are left of Summerdale Day Camp. So if that's the one you meant, then I'm not sure. I really am not sure. Yeah, it's gonna be hot, and I'll be driving around in like vehicles that don't have like a top or anything like that. So like the slightest bit of wind and this thing goes flying. No, no, because then that would require me to shave the sides, and I am not going to do that. I will not go that far with the cut. I think we use like 40 and up at the park. I will periodically get the spray sunblock, um, but I will also use the lotion as well, and I have to put it on like multiple times a day because you sweat it right off. But I am doing my best to watch the skin. That one, yeah. See, I don't know. I don't know what that was. It had something to do with the water system. That's all I can figure. It might have had something to do with the pool that was there because there was a little pool there. It might have just been a control, like maybe it was like enclosed or something, and it was like a little control room for the water, like a pumping station or something. It's really hard to say since there's nothing else around it and no real explanation of what was there. We have a lot of maps at at the park that show a lot of the old structures, but they don't go into detail. It just shows old buildings and calls them buildings. So it's a tough one to figure out. Any sport in the world. Does it have to exist or can I make it up? A hand water pump? It could have been, but I mean it was from the 50s. So I mean there wasn't too many of them around. I'm sure there were still some, but I don't know. Both. I would like to try zero gravity basketball, like in a room that like they could control gravity, just zero gravity basketball. That would be cool. Even though I don't play basketball, but it's just the first sport that came to mind that would go well in zero gravity. Real sports, eh, I'm not really much into performing sports. I'll watch. I love my Eagles, Phillies, Flyers. I'm not as into them as I used to be. But uh, real sport, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind playing baseball. It's pretty fun. You're all getting to know more about me than you've ever known with Kate here, because she's just like she's pumping out these random questions, boy. And I haven't even drank one beer in the time I've been on here. What's wrong with me? It's been over an hour now, an hour and 3 minutes. and then there was crickets. Wish I had a little soundboard. I used to have a soundboard. Whoa, whoa. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely the old jail. Um, so Stephanie and I, we intend on going back at some point, and we're going to try to do as good of a history video or series of history videos as I can on the whole Molly Maguire's thing, which would incorporate that old jail, because and that old jail is only open during the warmer months, I think, not during the winter, but um some of the people that were involved in the Molly Maguires were held in that jail. I started reading about it and I started watching a couple videos about it. But we fully intend on going there. But even if we didn't, the Pocono videos, no, they're not going to stop. There's an event coming up. I forget when it is. What's up, Squib? Saw the new video, man. It's pretty cool. Delaware Water Gap. There's a pickle, believe it or not. There's a pickle fest going on of some kind in man, what's that area called? I gotta look it up. The 5th annual Pickle Me Poconos Festival that's going on in Stroudsburg in October. So we got to wait a little while, but it's happening, and I have to go, and I'm gonna get it on video too. Oh, I didn't even see the favorite candy question. Must have happened during a time that the things were coming out rapid fire. Favorite candy? I do miss Snickers too. They were great, but they got peanuts and I can't have them. I like a lot of candy. I don't know. Reese's are great. The new Reese's with the caramel in them. Oh my God. Heaven. Absolute heaven. So right now I'd have to say them. Dragons. Dragons or unicorns, one of the two. Oh, look at that. You got somebody that knows you, Squib, hanging out in my live feed. Squib's awesome. Molly Maguire's movie location nearby, too. Well, that's cool. See? So it'll all tie together when I finally do make it. You did. So in that other area where we were looking for the concrete slabs, because it almost looked like they might have been like the like just the places that the teams sat. You know what I mean? Like, but it's hard to say from the aerial shot. But yeah. Oh, peanut chews were great too. I can't have them anymore. It sucks. Oh, Miss Chanel has made an appearance. I guess you must be done your live feed. No, I don't. And I'm sure it was a discussion between the parents, but my dad's probably not the person to ask. My mom probably would remember. I would have to ask my mom. If my mom were here, she could tell you, but I'm guessing she's not here for the live feed. She has popped in on some of them. Not all of them, but some. Yeah, that was a really cool place. When I was finding different things in there, it was it's a place I'm going to have to go back to, because after actually having been there and then reviewing the aerial shots, and even looking back as recent as like in the last 10-15 years on Google Earth, not Google Maps, but the software of Google Earth, I was able to go back and I could see some things that are still seemingly there. So at some point, I'm going to be going back there again. See, I knew what you meant because I speak typo. So, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, that was definitely a very cool adventure going around. It was like a wooded area that I've driven past more times than I could count. And I always thought about going in there, and I had heard before I even started doing YouTube, I had come across an old website that no longer exists that talked about those fairgrounds, and I could never find anything about it again until one day I finally happened to stumble on something, and that led me to other things to find. And I said, "That's it. I'm going there. I'm doing this." My sister's stepson and his wife made that for me. It was just like an impromptu present that they made me as they were learning how to do all that. Um, and they gave it to me as like an Easter present some time ago, and it was very cool. And I used to have their Instagram handy. I don't know if they're still doing it. Let me see if I can find it. I think I'm still following them on there. It's hard to navigate Instagram because I'm not used to it. All right. See if I can find them on here. But if they're still doing it, this would be the way to contact them. Following a few people on there. Forgive me while I look through this all. I know I was following them. Yet I don't see them. Well, maybe they turned off their Instagram. It's possible. I'll find out. And I'll check with them and see what's up and if they're still doing it. I did do the other side of the creek where the amusement park used to be, and they had like a stage, like a clamshell stage and all that. I haven't gone to the quarry yet, and I want to say that when I looked into it, it was like off limits. But I'll have to look into that again to see if it is indeed off limits. Yeah, it is very awesome. I love it. The only thing that sucks is that between the time that they started making this and the time that they finished it, I had changed it, and I don't have this word in there anymore. I don't have explore it with me because I was getting my channel reviewed by some guys that do that, and the one guy said, "This is Tom's World. Explore it with me. What is it?" And I'm thinking, Tom's World. That's what the it is. But then I thought, you know what? Maybe I could just take that out. Explore with me, I guess makes sense too. So I took it out, but they didn't know that. Oh, stupidity in driving, I guess, would be my biggest one at the moment. There's a few in that box of pet peeves, but that's the one I'll go with. Yes. There has been an ongoing issue at Rush for quite a long time with the smash and grabs. So the best thing that I can say to you is to never leave when you're going to go park there. Never leave stuff visible in your car. For the women who go there, don't leave your purse in the car, even if you tuck it under the seat. They know that trick. Don't park in the first parking lot. Not that that's going to save it from happening, but that's where it happens more than anywhere else. That first parking lot you come to on the left. during the season where the gardeners are there and stuff, you're better off parking around where the gardeners are, because then at least there's eyes on it and people are less likely to do that. But yeah, there's been an issue with that. I mean, it doesn't happen every single day, and I know because I'm one of the guys that cleans up the glass. But I have just recently cleaned up some glass there, so if that's any indication. I mean, if it's at all possible for you to park outside of the park somewhere, and then walk there, or take a bike with you in your vehicle and then park somewhere off and ride your bike into there, might be better off. Really? Well, I'll have to check that out, man, because it has been a place I wanted to go check out. It's just a matter of figuring out where to park and how far the walk is and all that. But not that I wouldn't do it. My Instagram is Tom's World Pics, but it's TOMS. There's no apostrophe, underscore world underscore pics, PICS. Why it's called that is because originally I intended for it to just be for pictures that I took for Tom's World, and at the time it wasn't called This Is Tom's World. So the name of it might change at some point if I should decide to start using it again. I do have some pictures on there. Yeah, some. Maybe more than some, but you can always check that out. What is it? It's it. What is it? It's it. What is it? Oh, Christ. I walk into so many spider webs. What trash? Oh, you mean the people breaking into the cars? Don't know. I mean, they were coming into Neshaminy for a bit, but they seem to have stopped. It was mostly in the fall that they were going in there, and but in Rush, it just never seems to stop. I mean, it's not constant. There are seriously long breaks where nothing happens, but it's just they are trash. I mean, it's like you got nothing else better to do with your life than to break into people's vehicles, smash their windows, and steal their stuff instead of going out and getting a job and earning your own money and buying your own stuff. Ridiculous. Lucky number. If I had to pick one, I'd say 12. Oh, cool. I'll have to look at that. Check it out on the maps, man. Yeah. That's not a bad idea. That's a decent idea. Never a pen when I need one. Oh no. I had a pen and a pencil here, and I see the pencil. Cool. That's a damn good idea, Michael. Like just the logo. Like this logo, this logo in the middle of a spider web. That could definitely work. Walking in? What do you mean, Rich? I know where you got those numbers from. The spades. Yeah, that is a pretty cool logo idea. Since I'm always walking into them. Yeah, cool. I'll have to see if I can make that happen, man. Get my Photoshop skills going. All right, Squib. Have a good night, man. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, Squib does stealth camping, so it's. No, I think they're coming in other vehicles because people have seen in that first parking lot, and they've reported to us. I mean, of course, after the event, that they remember seeing like two people, just two young guys, kind of standing by a car, and of course, they did give a description of the car and the guys and all that. Not that it helps because I don't think it's always the same people, but and they were just kind of like lingering around another car, which wound up getting busted into later on. So, yeah. Matter of fact, make sure everybody has done that. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, make sure there's a like button down there somewhere. Make sure you hit it. I don't mind camping. I haven't done it in a long time. Which this guy here, he often does like stealth camping and truck camping, where he's got the inside of his truck modified, and he's got like a microwave and a hot plate and all this other stuff going on, and he makes dinner and he'll watch TV while he's there and stuff like that, and just get comfy and just kind of camp in a place. And his last video, he was in the Delaware Gap, and which is a really, really big wooded area, and here in PA, and yeah, he's done quite a few camping videos, quite a few, I would say. I think he's probably been on YouTube longer than I have, but we did come across each other. Obviously, if he's here on my live feed, he mentioned me. The first time he mentioned me was on a video where he went to Dinosaur Lake, which is a place I went to quite a bit. Haven't been there in a while either. And he was using my video as his scouting, basically, for that, to figure it out. And that back then he was using a tent, and he would camouflage the tent while he was there. Really cool. Awesome. Let's refresh it and see if it gives me a notification. It did give me a notification. Ah, I see. And now you have a follow. You have two things up there. That's okay, though. You have another follower. Wow. An hour and 23 minutes. This has got to be one of the longer ones I've done here. But I see that there's still 12 people here, and 10 of them are on YouTube, 2 are on Facebook. This is... Nah. That's fine. No need to apologize on that. Did you look through the pictures, though, that I had up there? Oh. Let's see. Oh, I do see that there now. And now I'm following you as well, Kate. Wow, you have quite a few things on here. Far more than I do. Cool. See, now I'm following both of you. I thought that said heart heads. I'm like, what the hell is that? That's cool. Hey, we all fall behind. I haven't posted on Instagram, and I don't even know how long. Like at one point, I got the idea to start posting the thumbnails to my videos and then just putting the link in the description to see if that would make people migrate over. But the one thing I keep getting told by so many people, including Dustin last night on BB3 in Hizzy's place, is that I really should be focusing on TikTok as well. That like TikTok is the place to be and all this. It's just like I've just been waiting for it to die off and go away, really. I do have a TikTok made. I posted 2 things on there. It got some views, but I really don't like the only thing I use TikTok for is like when I go to bed at the end of the night, I just scroll for like 20 minutes and then I go to bed. Watch some funny stuff or whatever. Well, see, I don't have that problem on there. You know. Not being a woman, men aren't looking for me on there. Well, I hope not. Well, I mean, I've had some harassment, but in the form of like just I don't know, just people being assholes. Really, I just said a bad word on my channel. I sure did. But it's true. You know, people are just being jerks, and it happened to me quite a bit, especially with the postings of my videos in the different local groups. Hey, that's fine. Absolutely perfectly fine. The pool house at current Baker's Bay Pool House is the original building stable of an old Torresdale estate. Huh. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you can definitely tell that that was a Byberry building when you look at it, but they did an awesome job restoring that. That's like some kind of like kinder care, kinder college, something like that. Something for yeah, daycare. It's a kinder academy, kinder college, something like that. Well, I mean, hey, if things are going to be haunted, and that's the very last building left of Byberry, it most definitely would be. However, then my logic kicks in, and I think, you know, if I died and I crossed over, and once I died, I no longer had the mental disabilities that people had that were in Byberry, would I want to stay there? Probably not. I'd probably want to go other places because I was already stuck there for however many years. You know, it's tough. I mean, but the whole story of Byberry, for those of you that don't live in the area, Byberry was the nickname of the Philadelphia State Hospital, um, which you can look up. Philadelphia State Hospital. The word Byberry will come up somewhere in there, and you can look up the story of that. It was just like any other state hospital. It was tragic. They were mistreated so badly. Um, by the staff, by the physicians. They were experimented on. There were people in there that today would not have even been seeing a psychiatrist or a psychologist. They'd just be put on medication and be okay. For things like depression and stuff like that, people were in there and they were commingled with the people who were like psychotic. So it was it was a horrible, horrible story. And then in the 80s, they talked about closing it down. And I think early 90s is when they finally closed it down, or late 80s. And all the psychotic people, they took them to different places. But people who were just, you know, a little off, they just opened the doors and went, there you go. Bye. And that was it. Sad, sad stories from that place. Cool. Yes, I opened another beer. Am I staying for the whole beer? Probably not. But I see the number has increased of people in here. So as long as people keep wanting to hang out, I'll hang out. No worries. I mean, hey, it gives me view time too. So it helps me out in the end. Although it is 9:15 and I got to get up at 5:30. So I don't know how much longer it'll be. So we'll see. We'll see. If I get some encouragement to stay, maybe I'll stay. All right, James, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Thanks for the ideas and stuff. Very much appreciated. Well, don't burn yourself. Watch out. You're cooking. You wait. I don't even know where you live at, Jill, to know how far, like what the time difference is for you. Because right now it's like 9:15 here. Well, I work at a state park, not a national park, but there's always listings on their websites. Oh, so you're 3 hours behind. Jeez, I was gonna say, why are you still cooking? No, hell no. I would never pander to snobs. That's not gonna happen. That's not my scene, man. Never has been. Hmm? Yep, it's Neshaminy State Park, and I may or may not have mentioned it before, but we were told back in January that the park of the year for the state was Neshaminy State Park for 2023. We won Park of the Year. What did we get for that? Nothing. Maybe a little plaque, but still, we were Park of the Year. Considering how bad we get trashed every weekend when that pool is open, to say that we got Park of the Year, that says a lot. That shows how hard we work to keep the place as neat as we can. No. I will never make it Tommy's World. Then that sounds too much like one of the origins of the phrase Tom's World. It sounds more like Bobby's World, which was one of the phrases. And I mean the other one was Wayne's World, which if you look at the hat, you kind of see it. I didn't make this logo though. My friend Kenny Biddle did, but still, it all came together. Oh, it's horrible. The way these people come in, and they look around like, oh, this place is so beautiful and everything. And then when they see us and we're there and we're changing out the trash bags and giving them extra trash bags, oh yeah, you don't have to worry. We always clean up after ourselves. Next day you go to that same spot and it's trashed. It's like, why even bother lying? That's 16 acres is a lot. And filled with asbestos. Really? Why would anybody want to go there then? But that's been another place that's been mentioned to me too. Excuse me. I am getting tired. I mean, Valley Forge has a lot of history as well. I mean, with 16 acres, I mean, I would guess you wouldn't have to go anywhere near where the asbestos is. Hmm. Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, hopefully they can take care of that and bring back some of the beauty of the history there. Would be cool. That's another thing. When I get the haircut, I got to get used to not like pulling the hair out of my shirts when I put them on, and like how I'm always like doing this to bring it down and everything. And, like, what am I going to do with myself? I'm going to be playing with phantom hair. Yeah, as we said, Washington was everywhere, man. Should make an animation video of George Washington singing "I've been everywhere, man," and start showing all the different places he was supposed to have slept. That'd be funny. Random thought. I just realized today's Monday. That means tomorrow's trash day, and I still got to take out the trash. I got to bag it up. Got a bunch of stuff in the freezer that's got to go. Well, that's okay though. I'm halfway done that beer I opened, so once I'm all the way done that beer, then I'll go. Oh, wow. I don't think I'd want to march for 16 acres worth. I didn't. I'm lazy like that. Take what to the park, my beer? That ain't gonna happen. We all know no alcohol allowed, and I work there, so I have to abide by rules. My trash. Oh, yeah. Just no. Now we're things are getting better with there. Like I've noticed, like I've tried my best to keep up on the trash in the winter time because during the winter it's pretty much just like a skeleton crew because the seasonal guys aren't there. But I've been doing my best to try to keep up on it. I can't keep up on all the different litter like way in the back of the picnic areas because I do have other things, other tasks that have to get done in that time that we generally can't do during the busier times. But um, I can't have beer in that park. Okay, I know other people do, but with the trash cans and stuff like that, I've been doing my best to keep up on it. And as I'm going down the trails, I've been picking up everybody's snotty tissues that they just throw on the ground. Because apparently in the winter, people walk through the park, blow their nose, and throw the tissues on the ground instead of putting them in their pocket and waiting for the next trash can. And we do have a lot of trash cans there. Um, but and that totally grosses me out that people do that. But I try my best to keep up on top of it. It was just hard to do alone, but now all the guys are back, so it's only going to get better. And the fact that Jack, the older guy that's 92 years old, or 92, oh my God, 82 years old. I can't believe I just said 92. 82 years old. He's there. He's a workhorse. We will be getting it all. Most definitely. We have a clean sweep of the park coming up. So we're going to be doing our best. Hell no. No, that's for like the high school kids do that, basically. Got me. It annoys me too. Yeah, we have some trash cans in the back trails. Not as many as we do in the picnic areas, mind you. But I believe I was told at one point that we have more trash cans than any other state park in the state. So there's no excuse for it. People are just nasty. And if anybody that's watching is one of the people that does that, please consider putting it in your pocket and waiting until you get to a can. Well, I have picked up some but they may have been ones that, like maybe we didn't see when we were cleaning up during the warm weather. But yeah, during the warm weather, there are a lot of baby diapers, even in the parking lots. Like people were changed their kids, and there's trash cans in the parking lots. I mean, there's a guaranteed 6 trash cans in each parking lot, but we put in more than that. So there's at least 8 cans in both of the main parking lots. And in the back parking lots, you have, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each of those parking lots. And we will still find diapers on the ground because people are too lazy to just walk that diaper to the can and put it in. I mean, I implore to the people that do this, just stop. Stop being so nasty. Stop messing up this beautiful, beautiful place. Keep it beautiful. Yep. Right? I can't stand it though. All right, Carol. Hope you have a good night and a good sleep. It's more than gross. It's nasty. And it shows a lack of class, a lack of intelligence. They're allowed to bring their gas grills if they want. That's it. And sometimes they leave them there, which makes no sense to me because those things aren't cheap. And people will bring their charcoal grills there and leave them there. But they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to bring their own cooking thing. And if I went there, quite honestly, I would too, because I'll say this: that in cleaning up the day after a busy day, I have seen stuff on the grills that I cannot identify. I know it's meat. I don't know what kind of meat it is because it just doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before in my life. Could be human for all I know. I don't know. I mean, that's a speculation jokingly, but I would never eat off of the grills there myself. That's just me. But I also would never eat anything. If I ate seafood, I would never eat anything that somebody got out of the Delaware River either. But people do that. Yep. Yep. And this is what they do at the park. People will be in a picnic area and they have ready access to at least 2 trash cans in their area, no matter where they're sitting. And the trash will all be on the ground in between the tables. They'll make like a circle out of the tables. They'll move them around, and all the trash will be there. And then we have to pick it all up with those little grabbers. It's fun. Aw, thanks, Jill. Always appreciate making anybody feel better. But I really, really, really got to go because it's like almost 9. Well, it's 9:30 now, and I still got to get the trash together and the recycles and everything, and then I got to get my clothes out of the dryer, and then I got to go to bed. So, thank you everybody for being here. Please remember to go visit my merch shop. The link is in the description of all of my YouTube videos. You check it out. Also, you can always support the channel by sharing the videos, just by simply watching the videos, giving them a like. And there's always the option, like over here on this side of the videos, for a super thanks, and you could donate any kind of money you want. But the most important thing is to continue to watch, comment, and like. Those are the best ways to support the channel. So definitely, we'll see you tomorrow, Jill. And No, Neshaminy will never get that bad. That I can guarantee you. As long as I'm working there and I have anything to say, I will not let it happen. Oh my God. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Very, very awesome. That is awesome. I love that. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you continue to watch my videos, like the videos, comment, share them out when you want to, when you can, and I will get out of here. I will see you all soon, or rather, talk to you all soon because I can't see you because that would be creepy. But yeah, make sure you stay safe, stay healthy, and take care. I will talk to you all.